Yo, what's going on YouTube? What's going on Team Fitted and everyone else that's decided to come find us here on Team Fitted TV, where the caps are. I am Joe Lamatia, the worst collector ever. What's going on, Marin? How are you doing tonight? I saw that you were doing some bar trivia tonight. Is that right? Marin is a Lids Ultimate Hat Collection finalist, Team Fitted member, and a friend. So I always like to see when the friends check in. But yeah, so should be a relatively short show tonight. I know I say that just about every time, but yeah. Marin says she won $5 each for her group. That's pretty dope. It's $5 more than I made tonight. So I can't complain. Good job. What was the hardest question they asked you? We'll ask you that. Meanwhile, we'll get started here. Yeah, this is Worst Collection Wednesdays. I'm just kind of doing the thing this week. So thanks for tuning in with us for our Wednesday Hump Day Showdown. But yeah, so let's get to it. First thing we always do here is worst advice ever. So let's get into worst advice ever. So I got this question. I really like this one, and so I pulled this one out of the grab bag, and I say, "Dear Ultimate Hat Collector, a lot of people I know seem to be able to get the scoop on caps way before me. Where should I look, or how do I get that information?" Well, you want worst advice. All right, so here's my worst advice, and it's going to be kind of convoluted, but you're going to have to just bear with me through this, all right? So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some gloves and a trip to Hogwarts and at least 1 year's of worth of training there. So you got to go to Hogwarts or somewhere where you can get a truth serum, right? Then you got to go to the New Era headquarters, and you're going to have to physically shake down with that truth serum. You're going to have to shake down those executives who are pumping out and actually have their hands in the design room. Because outside of that, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think that there's any clear-cut way of getting real good advice from anybody. So it's going to have to be something absolutely ridiculous. You're going to have to threaten family. You're going to have to, domestic terrorism style, go in there and like hold a bunch of hat makers hostage to get your answer. But that's about the only way you're going to get information in advance. How do you get it? I guess on a real tip. Hey, what's up, Pancake? Marin says that during the coin flip round, which spoils more quickly in potato salad, the mayo or the potatoes? Oh, that's a good question. I would say the potatoes, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. Let us know, Marin. But yeah, on a real tip, though, if you're trying to get information on caps, there are a few websites that will share information. New Era Cap Talk is one that, and I don't even know if that's still around. The thing that I really rely on are like Facebook groups, social media groups, Twitter groups that care about this stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the most active person. It helps to be involved and talk. And I think everybody, when you're in groups like that, you're in with mostly like-minded individuals. So it's pretty easy to just, kick back. And I mean, I feel like this show, for example, this is just something that we do for fun. I just started it just because I kind of wanted to have fun with it and just get in touch with the people that I knew like this material, liked caps and sneakers and all this shit. Marin says it was the potatoes, so yes, 5 points to Gryffindor over here. Um, yeah, to me, it would just be as long as it's refrigerated or whatever, the mayo probably wouldn't go bad. It would be potatoes. And I only know that just because if you've ever cut potatoes and then left potatoes out, they blacken pretty quick. This is all off of the comments section. If you guys are questioning what the fuck I'm talking about, go to the comments section. You can always add stuff there. I try to be pretty interactive with viewers, and I enjoyed that. That's probably the most fun out of the show. So, but yeah, as far as like trying to get advice though, or information on caps and stuff, you can become friends with. You should always be friends with your lids managers, and or at least friendly. It doesn't mean that you got to be, going out for beers or anything. That helps, but I don't think that you have to be on like a personal level. But be friendly when you go into the stores. Try to talk to them about what they know, what they've seen come up. Sometimes stores, especially if it's like a brick and mortar like a boutique or something like that, they may be able to show you stuff that they don't have. I know, you go to a ball game or something like that, and you catch the team, whatever they call that, the team manager for merchandise or merchandising manager, whatever. Yeah, fucking those are the guys. They'll sometimes be like, oh, well, I can show you this. This is, as long as you don't take a photo of it or whatever, and they'll show it to you. But yeah, I definitely think that like be friendly to people. Obviously, I think that's smart. And uh, there are pages, like I said, Strictly Fitteds, I think is in French, but I think there's one website that does a pretty good job, but they're in French. Um, I think it's Just Fitteds, but I'm not sure. Just Fitteds is a store, but I think that they also have a blog. I don't know. Anyway, that there's websites you can go to, but I would rely on social media. Try to and be friendly with your managers, stuff like that. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, don't feel bad. Most of the stuff that goes on and most of the information that breaks is broken on the internet. So you don't necessarily have to be in a city that you don't have to be in Buffalo, hanging out in the bushes trying to like catch photos falling out of their briefcases and shit. You can just look. But I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of people really have a good idea of like what's coming out other than maybe like 2 to 3 weeks in advance. Store managers and stuff like that, they will probably be able to see on their sheet what they're getting to an extent, have an idea. But outside of that, if you're looking at team caps and stuff like their hat club lids, stuff like that, I don't think that outside of their higher ups, you're not going to really be able to like lock down things to 100% until like pretty much quickly. I think caps though have a quick turnover, not an incredible turnover. Those of you who have made customs or team orders and stuff like that, you've definitely seen the problems with that and the length of time that it can take for that. But in general, I think caps are a relatively quick turnover. But yeah, so that's pretty much my real advice would just be, look online, use social media, use the people in the community that are good as far as not being assholes, but are being willing to share information. Some people can be real smug about it. I don't think it's necessarily, it doesn't have to be that. I know that Tim Arzaga, and I always forget what the website is called, but he showed me a website a while back that had all like the previous logos and the previous, like a lot of the previous uniforms, stuff like that. I thought that was a great source of information just for logos and keeping track of like what year is what. And I'll try to get that from Tim later. I believe it was Tim Arzaga, San Diego Hat Guy for you guys on social medias. Professor Hatter, yes. Rocking the Blackhawks Stanley Cup champion 2015 cap today. I just really wanted to wear this shirt. I wanted to wear the Jack Skellington, because I think it's been like, what, 20 years, 25 years, something like that today, or for Nightmare Before Christmas. I think it was yesterday, something like that. I saw something that made me want to wear this shirt. This is one of my Halloween shirts. I rock a lot of, I love this holiday. So, but yeah, this cap, I really dig it. I love that it's just like all red, real classic with the logo. We could get into logos tonight. TJ's got it. Sportslogos.net. I don't know if that was it or not. I'll have to check, but that's probably a good one as well. I don't doubt TJ for a second. He's up on his shit. So, definitely good information. But yeah, so I have a couple caps that I want to show, and then I want to show a cap that's going to lead into really my main topic tonight, which is going to be like, we'll just get to it. First two caps are from Europe. Shout out to Steph Sta, shout out to Simon Treese and all those guys out there that are always willing to help the guys here, guys and gals, as far as picking up caps and stuff from over in Europe. Oh, Marin has another question for us. Final question. With 4, what river goes through the most national capitals? Which we got right and doubled your points. Ooh, I'm not good with geography at all. 4 national capitals. I mean, the Mississippi, I guess. I don't know. If it's a river question, I would just say the Mississippi, but it could be like, oh, TJ says it's the Potomac. Did you look it up? Oh, national, my bad. I totally did not read it. Didn't read the question correctly. Okay, fuck. Now you really got me, because I am terrible with geography. It's probably my worst time. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna make a guess. I would be sitting there. The Nile would be a good guess. I mean, it is a humongous river, but we got a lot of Niles, so I guess it's trivia night here. If you've got a guess, because I have no fucking clue. Yeah, I mean, Nile sounds right, but I don't know. What's the answer, Baron? We're putting you on the spot. I guess Nile is like what everybody's voting for, so we're gonna go with Nile for final answer. Danube. I don't even know where. I don't even know where that is. That's how sad it is. I'm terrible. I've always been horrible at geography. It's in Europe. Oh, that's good to know. I wouldn't have even guessed that continent. That's how terrible I am at geography. But that's okay. Don't have to be great at everything. That's okay. Well, probably something I need to get better at. But yeah. So speaking of Europe, shout out to the guys over there. I picked up these caps. They'll be shown again here in about a month when I do my Disney breakdown right before Thanksgiving-ish, probably maybe first, second week in November. I'll probably do it. But yeah, first one is the Goofy cap. These are like the new characters, right? So it's it's like from the new Disney cartoons. It's not classic Disney, which it's kind of upsetting, just because I grew up on like Goof Troop and shit, right? I didn't really grow up on this one, right? And I know, like, I just got these in. Was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. Or today even. I don't even know. Time is terrible to me today. But yeah, I know that these are probably going to now drop in America and they'll be way cheaper than, but I didn't have to pay a ton. Shout out to Steph for taking care of me. These came from Cray Hats and I believe is Germany. They have a website though. Little free plug because he sent me some of the stickers. Yeah, I've also got this sticker too, which is cool. I like this one. I don't know what this is. Steph, you have to tell me what this is. What is this? Is this a team? This dope logo though. It's on the shiny gold foil. Yeah, whatever. And then of course, I think like everybody has 1,000 of these, right? The Just Fitteds. What do they call it? Rats and bats. Oh, maybe I don't have this one, but a Just Fitted sticker. If you don't have a Just Fitted sticker, you can't call your collection complete. Yeah, see, like at least a sticker. These things go around. I mean, I've never been to Just Fitteds. I've got a few caps from them, but yeah, I mean, their sticker game is strong. Sticker game is hella strong. But yeah, he also sent these, which I thought were super dope. Shout out to Steph. I'm gonna put these somewhere in my display. He sent out these photos. This one's dope. Hip hop one. And then just like it looks like just random caps. Sweet. Really dope. Yeah, Marin, the pics are really nice. I need to find a place to find like get them into the like stock room in a nice display. Whether I gotta frame them or whatnot, we'll figure out. But yeah. So yeah, Goofy was the first one. Green Under just has Goofy on the back, right? And obviously, I got Donald. Mickey was sold out, so picked up Donald. Donald is dope. So I got Donald and Goofy. Green Under. This one obviously doesn't say Goofy on the back. But yeah, I like these caps. They'll be useful for my next trip. I really needed a Goofy cap. That was the main part of that order, was grabbing the Goofy, because I have yet to see a Goofy cap on sale here, like at all. So, and I kind of got my, I'm not going to say that I have a lane, because I'm probably just, I have so much different shit. I can't really say I have like one thing I buy, but like now, currently, I think more of my money goes towards like comic caps and like movie caps, cartoons and stuff than it does teams and stuff. Just because, like, I mean, I've got, I don't know, 50 to 100 White Sox caps, and like I've got Bulls caps, some Bears caps, stuff like that. So I mean, they don't make Blackhawks caps anymore. Those were the ones that I actually probably would have bought more of. But yeah, so for me, the ones that's logical right now for my collection are like comic book and cartoon caps. So shout out to Steph for picking those up for me. Shout out to Cray Hats for stocking them so that I could get them. What's up, Big B? Good to see you tuning in. Marlon, same deal. Leon, how's it going, brother? Good to see all you guys tuning in with me late on a Wednesday, middle of the week. It's almost midnight here. So this cap is going to go back. I'm going to preface it this. I got one of the mystery caps from Superhero Stuff. And so they sent me, I ordered a 7.5, and they sent me this, which is a 3/4. I'm assuming it's a Pistons cap with the Captain America on it. The sticker, like, you probably can't tell, but like on it, like you can see the residue from the sticker that they like yanked off of it. Bad form, Superhero Stuff. So this is going back to them. Hopefully, the second time around, they're going to send me one that's, well, the right size, first off. And then second off, one that they haven't, I mean, this is clearly, like, I know it's a gamble. You buy those mystery caps, whatever, but $20 is not a cheap mystery box. Like, you should not be given stuff that is beat the fuck. It is a cool combo, Leon. I will say that. Like, the front is not bad. The color placement is nice and shit like that. Like, the cap itself is nice. NBA logo on the back. So, yeah. But like, oh, I just noticed this too, man. The back logo is real messed up. Like, I don't know if you can see how it's very, I don't know. Looks janky. But yeah, this is going back. So superhero stuff, hopefully will send me something better. But yeah, speaking of them, so the last thing, and the funny thing is, I know if you guys watch the show, I know what I said about this hat, and I will explain how this got into my collection along with that mystery cap. But yeah, so the next cap, the last cap that'll get us into our topic tonight is the Venom cap. Yeah, I know, right? I talked about it and I said so much shit about it, and now it's here and it's in my collection. So, pluses in my first, I'll get into the story of how I got this. So, I went out on Friday. I came home, and it was not a good day. I won't go too far into it. And this was like, I don't know, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Not this last Friday, but 2 Fridays ago. So went out, came home, got drunk, and drunk. Because I don't drink a lot. So for me, like, I either don't drink enough at all to like even catch a buzz, or I'm like shit faced. And especially with hard liquor, I have no fucking balance. Like, I just don't drink enough to know. And I'm not the type to wait around. Like, I don't want to sit there for 4 hours and be like, am I drunk yet? So, but yeah, so I ended up getting trashed. And so apparently I ordered this Venom cap, which, you know, shout out to superhero stuff. It's nice. I mean, it's this part is very like, it's a static magnet. So like, I feel like I'm going to constantly have to wipe this. Like, it even feels like it's got like little fuzz and shit that's like accumulated on it just from sitting out for the 20 minutes I've been talking. The eyes, I think the eyes would have been cooler in glow in the dark. And they could have added like some glow in the dark features on the teeth or something. This definitely should have been glow in the dark. But whatever. The back part is probably the thing I like the most about this cap. But yeah, so I ordered, apparently I woke up, none the wiser Saturday morning or afternoon or whenever I actually got up. And it wasn't until Monday I got a order confirmation from Superhero Stuff. And, I was like, where did my shit come from? Like, I don't know. Or like, what is this? So I like look into it, and apparently I ordered these hats. I ordered a mystery box hat and a Venom cap, which I don't have any recollection of ordering, but whatever. Like, they're cool. I think I'm gonna keep them. I've heard mixed things about the Venom movie. I've heard that from reliable sources. Now, I'm not just saying like people that like are Lady Gaga fans that wanted to skew the results. Like, people that actually saw it, went and saw it. I heard everything from like it's a shit, like terrible movie, to like it's like a 7 out of 10. So nobody's going around saying like it's the best movie they saw like ever. But it might be worth watching. I'll probably get it when it comes out on video and at least like, I don't know, rent it or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Leon's like, it is garbage. I don't know. I hope it's better than what than what you're saying, Leon, but I don't doubt it. It didn't look great, but this is not a movie. This is not trivia night. This is Worst Collection Wednesday. So I'm going to try to stay on topic because I don't want to go until 2 a.m. tonight. But yeah, so the funny thing is with this cap, so, and if you ordered it or were thinking about it or whatever, beautiful cap, right? I mean, like, not terrible, not great, but like, whatever. But yeah, I really like the inside, just the black with like the symbiote material, like whatever. But the fucked up thing about that is, so that cap came out and Superhero had it, and they have it. I think they're on back order now. I checked beforehand, and I think they're before the show, and there was like size 7 is still available. A lot of them are on order. So, but the thing that pisses me off about this cap is that it was sold as a limited edition exclusive, a superhero stuff exclusive of 300, a limited run of 300 of them, which is probably like one of the only biggest things that, you know, why probably a lot of people bought them. I know a ton of people bought 2. I'm not that guy, like, but I will say this: the more limited number on it kind of put me in a position where it was like, well, I mean, even when I was just debating it before and I wasn't even sold on it, I was kind of like, well, the good thing about that is, like, you buy any hat that's that type of number, you can probably like wear it once or twice and like get rid of it for relatively what you paid. Like, you're probably not going to lose money on it, which is nice. But yeah, so they sold it as an exclusive cap, and I know a bunch of people bought 2. They wanted to, like, you know, double up. Yeah, Leon, shout out to the guy on eBay selling it for $350. Like, what are you thinking, dude? Like, if not that limited. But yeah, so anyway, we all were under the assumption, and this is why, like, going back to my worst advice segment, like, you don't know, like, even stores don't know half the time, like, what the fuck's going on. So Hatland then comes out with an ad, and it's like, oh, Venom exclusive. We got it too. Exact same cap, no difference as far as anything like that. Dank One, you didn't really miss nothing. We were talking about like how people can get good advice for like cap advice on what's coming out, and then I'm just now talking about like the whole Venom Hatland superhero stuff issue. So Hatland comes out and they're like, we've got it. Like, you want it? We got it. You know, fuck your exclusive limited edition 300 count. Fuck that. So they've got it now. So it's on sale there. Superhero stuff. I know, like, most of my friends are cat people, especially on Facebook and whatnot. In real life, no, obviously, but like, and on social media, like, those are the people I follow and mix it up with a lot. And everyone was like, holy fuck, like, how are you gonna have an exclusive cap? You sell it as an exclusive, and then it's just like, oh well, like, our bad. So today in the Facebook group, I don't know if they posted this online or not, but Superhero Stuff came out and was like, look, we understand that people are upset about this, like, but we didn't know, like, Superhero Stuff didn't know that Hat Club or Hatland was getting them either. So supposedly, like, this is if you believe, and I don't feel like Superhero Stuff has really enough to lie about that. I I don't think they need to post the receipts or make a huge deal out of it. But they did say today that for the next, I think, 14 days, at least 7, 14, I think was the number. The next 14 days, if you have a Venom cap that you want to return, they'll return it, no questions asked. That's something that I've heard. So if you have one that you don't want, or you bought one to resell it or whatever, and you don't think you'll get your money back on it, you can return it. I still think that kind of is fucky, because for people like me who it's like, yeah, it's in my collection now, like I own it. I don't really want to send it back, but I feel like you should probably offer me like at least either a $5 off or something, 20% off coupon code for the next order or whatever, just to make good on the fact that like you guys dropped the ball on this. And whether or not you guys knew about it, you should have definitely said something. So, and like tried to make amends with the people who bought it, not necessarily because it was limited edition, but having that be one of the variables of which you made the purchase. Now, I mean, you already heard the story. So for me, I don't even know why I made the purchase. I just know I made it. Or someone made it for me. And shout out to my secret buyer, my secret drunken buyer. But no, yeah, I don't know why I made the purchase, but I know that was part of it. And yeah, Marin's saying it for sure, like coupon code, you shouldn't advertise it as exclusive. It's not actually exclusive. And so, yeah, so I feel like that tank one, yeah. How can you, for me, people know I'm a black hole collector. So shit comes in, it doesn't usually leave. I don't really have anything that like I've gone out of my way to like buy and then sell. But yeah, so that got me thinking about like, is that acceptable to what they've done? And then I was trying to think of like other shit that happened that like people were like, I'm never buying from this company ever again. And then people go and buy from them. The one thing that like to me that jumped right out, and it wasn't, I think it was probably on a bigger level than this. Before I get to that, I don't know if you guys can see them over here. Those are those New Era stands from Lids. I told you guys to go get them or whatever. I know a couple of you guys did, because a couple people sent me pictures on on Instagram. But shout out to you guys, man. If you guys, I'm always like just chilling. So if I'm not, I'm like in class. I should have never touched this. Whatever. But if I'm not in class, like I'm just hanging out or whatever. So you can always feel free to, send me photos or whatever. Man, that sucks. I was just going to say, I know that there was a couple people who got stands that sent me photos and were like, look at what I got. Thanks for bringing it up. Like, yeah, man, Jeff says it was awkward to carry on the Metro. I had to carry. So the Lids that I go to, my buddy Marvin runs. It's his store. He's moving now to a different one, but he was getting rid of all of them. And his store got 3 of them. And he was like, I'm going to keep one, and then you can take the other 2. And then when I got there, it was kind of like, oh, well, you know what? Fuck it. You can have it. Just, don't worry about it, basically. And he just gave me all 3 of them. So I took all 3. So shout out to Marvin. I know he doesn't ever watch this shit or anything, but he gave me all 3 of them. I don't even have an Elements cap. I mean, I know I'm going to get a Bears one, or I should say I have a Bears one on order coming. But I don't know. No, Leon, that's horrible advice. Do not tell her to big league them. You don't need to. I think that most of these stores don't want this shit anyway. Like he was telling me, he's like, if we didn't get rid of them, like if you didn't come get them, I have to throw them away. So, to me, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, they're made out of cardboard. It's nothing special. Like, I mean, they're nice. Don't get me wrong; they're nice to have, but they're not like they're not like one of the glass ones or anything like super super nice. Um, but yeah, so the other thing I was thinking about when I saw this, which when I was kicking around things that pissed off the hat community to like that people thought was ethically bullshit. And the one thing that jumped out to me, first thing memory wise, was when Lids had their big ass clearance sale. And this was probably year and a half to 2.5 years ago. I don't even know at this point. Time is not my friend. But yeah, so this was like Lid's last clearance sale. So like for those of you who haven't been buying caps for a long time, Lids used to have this like 2 days in February, and it happened for like 3 or 4 years in a row where they would clearance out, like it was basically like they were cleaning out the warehouse. And so it's just like random shit would go up on their web store for like dirt cheap. And when I mean dirt cheap, I mean like $1 to $5, maybe $10 caps. Like I remember buying like fuck tons of them. And I mean, like, I'm not a reseller, so it wasn't like I was buying like 20 of the same cap. Like, I'm saying, like, I would shop legit and buy 50 caps over 2 days because it would just be like, oh, here's this Spider-Man Tokidoki cap that we just randomly fell on. Like, it hasn't been made for 2 years. Here you go. Here's a melting Bugs Bunny cap. Like here's playoff caps from 3 years ago that we stumbled. Like it was just like that. So just be really random. And it was awesome. Like as a collect, like those 2 days. And I'm like I said, it went on for like 3 or 4 years, easy, of good solid years, to the point where I would look forward to it. I'd be like, every time that time, because it wasn't something they talked about. It was just something that they did. So I would like that time of year, I'd always be up looking at Lids early in the morning, trying to see if like, they put anything on clearance. They didn't put anything on clearance by like 10 a.m. I knew it wasn't the day. And so I didn't have to worry about it. But a couple years ago, they had it again, and I bought a bunch of caps. I know a bunch of people bought a bunch of caps, and they ended up, Leon, the Sea of Cancels, yes. So basically, they just fucking canceled like so many orders, like a ridiculous amount of orders. Like, and they were like, oh, well, our website, we weren't handle it. Like, it couldn't handle the load and shit, which as an IT guy, I could kind of understand. But then I was like, nah, it doesn't make much sense because you guys have like live inventory on there. It could have been 2015. It was a couple years ago. I think it was longer ago than I believe, like that I think it was. And I want to say it was like 2 years ago. So it might have been 3. It's possible. But yeah, they canceled so many. Like I had 2 orders of like 15 caps each, and not one cap shipped. Like not one. Like I didn't, and I'm not even bullshitting when I say that, like not one fucking cap out of all of them. And they said they sent out caps and that it was just a website error that they sold too many. But I just think it's bullshit. Like I know they do live inventory. So here's a trick. And I'm just talking now. So fuck it. If you're on Lids and you want to see how many caps they have, just fucking put in like 100 in the inventory count, like what you're in your cart, and it'll kick back and it'll tell you like, oh, we only have X amount of them. Do you want them? Like we've adjusted the number in your cart. And so then you can look in your cart and you can go, oh, they've got 12 of those. They've got 6 of them. Oh, they've got like 2 of them. I should probably buy it. Like, so that's a good tip. If you're ever looking online, that's a good Lids trick. to find out exactly how much inventory they have. Yeah, Leon, that is a pro tip. I would say that's probably a good one. But yeah, a lot of it is just playing with stuff. I will say this too. I was looking around on Hat Club, since you guys are, and I'm going to probably lose all my viewers now that I'm going to say this, but I was looking around on Hat Club earlier today, and they got a bunch of stuff for clearance, cheap. Not my size, unfortunately, but they've got a bunch of stuff, and I've heard that they're going to have a good sale, but I don't know. Yeah, guys, no problem. I'm happy to share the tip. If you guys are Hat Club fans, you could probably go over to Hat Club. There's, like I said, I would just put it on like all fitteds and just search, go to like lowest price or whatever. Their website though is kind of janky. I will say that. Like, whoever runs Hat Club's website needs help. Because every time I change anything on it, or just try to like shuffle through multiple pages, it jams up pretty hard. So, but this isn't going to be complain about the web store stuff. Yeah, Marin says it drives her nuts. Yeah, I can see that because it's annoying as fuck. What's up, Kentucky Colin? Good to see you. Jeff, yeah, not an EV. Hat Club is not a good site. And I feel like they're good enough for like when they've got new releases, I can navigate to their main screen and say, oh, new arrival, put it in my cart, it'll work. But like if I'm trying to like actually go through inventory on their site, it does not work well. Like, but yeah, that was to me. So when Lids did that a couple years ago, and they did that whole clearance, no, we're not selling any of it, or we sold it, whatever, however you want to interpret it. To me, I think it was more like, we have all these people willing to buy this stuff. Let's bring it back out. We'll sell it for 10 or 15, and we'll probably still sell a majority of it. Because like that was the other fucked up thing, was when I made that order, there was a lot of stuff that I ordered that then they said was out of stock that then re-popped back up on the site later, which really pissed me off as like a shopper. I'm not going to say the fact that like it pushed me away from Lids entirely, because obviously they're clearance caps. You can't be you're rolling the dice anyway. But so they ended up sending out these promo codes that was like, my bad, like here's, I want to say it was a decent chunk, 20 or 30% off of a Lids order. And the shitty thing about that was when I finally got around to using one, they had already expired. So that was a total loss for me. But that was the one thing where I was like, man, that was the first time in the cap game I got really upset about like a store pulling the rug out from underneath me. Just because when like if I place an order for 2 caps and both of them come back, they're sold out. Like, I've been buying stuff for a long time. I know how the game works. And it would be a frustration, but when I had like 30, 35, 40 caps come back that week, where it was like every hour I check my email and I'd have 2 emails from Lids saying like, oh, we're not sending this one. We're not sending this one either. Like, you'll be refunded the money. You'll be refunded the money. And like get to the end and it's like not one cap out of all of those sold or actually made it here. So, but I had a good run. Lids, when they were doing it, I mean, you had to be quick draw McGraw. That's why I like the years before it worked. So I don't know why it wouldn't have worked that year. That's the thing to me that made no sense. But you had to be super quick because their inventory is live, which means that like you can add it to a cart and some dude in Bangladesh can add it to their cart. And the person who checks out first is the person that's going to get it. If their orders are placed close enough together, the website won't be able to catch the fact that somebody ordered it before somebody else. But when they're filling the orders, which they should fill from the top down, which, oldest number first, basically, that'll sting. Leon says he lost his a Wahoo in his cart 2 days ago. That's what I'm talking about. So like, most likely you had one in your cart, some dude other had one in their cart somewhere else. They checked out, and while yours was like in your cart. So it was like basically them going, nope, gone now. Like you can't. And I mean, I've been on the plus side and minus side of that. I know I got a pair of Iron Man Air Force Ones from Oneness, a shop in Lexington, that I snagged those from somebody like that, where the manager was selling it and stuff, and for super cheap. It was like $40, and like me and a couple other guys asked to buy it. He sent us all invoices, and I filled it immediately. I was like, here, PayPal, boom, done. And one of the other dudes got on and was like, hey, you sent me an invoice, but now it's not saying that it's like legit anymore. Like, what happened? And they were like, oh, this guy bought them already. Like, and they like referenced me, and I was just kind of like in that awkward position of sorry, but and if you want stuff like that, that whole PayPal ready shit, have your credit card out, have that shit ready to roll. Especially if it's when you're doing stuff like that. But let's see. But yeah, so that was stuff I was thinking about. Other than that, what kind of stuff gets you guys upset? Like, you guys tell me, when like you're at a hat store, and I'm not talking about like things they can't control, like the hat comes in and it's got like a logo that's messed up, or they ship that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like ethically. Like, I can't think of really anything. Like, I haven't ever heard of a store like order stuff and then go, like, we're not going to send it. The only time I've ever had that was, and people who know me will know this, and this is not a hat thing, but I hate this company so much that I'm going to go on a 2-minute rant here. While you guys come up with some ideas of things that make you annoyed with when, ethically wise, like bait and switch styles type stuff, if you guys have any good stories. But what I was going to say now, of course, I fucking lost it. Oh, well. Leon says shipping. Why does Canadian shipping cost so much? Because I'll tell you why. Because United States shipping sucks. Straight up, like, I got a box shipped here. The two caps I got shipped here from, I got from Europe. I paid 10 euros to get shipped here. And what is that? Like $12 to ship anything that their direction. It's like $23. I know when I'm shipping to Canada, it's like 16 something bucks, like for a decent, like when I sent you that box and it was like all those blanks. What was that? Fucking, I don't even remember, but it was a lot. And I don't get it either. Like, I like the fact that companies are willing to move my shit for me far distances for relatively cheap. Yeah, Leon's saying $29 US, and it was 6 hats. That's crazy, man. Like, to go on the same continent, I mean, you're really not. But whatever. I'm not I don't know everything about shipping. Dank One's got a good comment here, but it's not necessarily what I was talking about. But this is a good one, and I will read it because I agree. Awful lighting in the pics of hats online. That's actually, I can use that because where it's like, yeah, you order a cap, you think it's one color, it's a different color. I've had this happen to me. He's talking about one where he ordered an Isotopes with the mariachi guy on it, and it looked gray, but it was white. I had one that I thought was black and white. It ended up being white and purple. Like the hat was white. I thought the logo was black, and the logo is actually like a purple. Not that it bothered me, but just I wasn't prepared for it. But I will say that does kind of lead into something that I will say is ethically fucked, which is these sites that post photos of caps because they want to get the jump on everything, like Hat Club and the lids especially. Like, what the fuck? Why do they have to like really get on their? They have to get on this idea of like we're gonna be angry at each other and we are gonna try to beat each other to the punch to post this stuff, which is cool, fine. Like I think there's enough logos you guys could probably not have to worry about it, but apparently you do. So whatever. But they post photos. Yeah, Dank one saying it, stock photos. They post these stock photos that end up looking nothing like the cap. The logos are different. The colors are different. Stuff like that. I mean, I've had a couple hats that are or people that I've seen on things where it's like, oh, I thought this like Raiders logo had the old Raiders logo, and this is this Raiders logo. Like, this isn't the same logo that's in the photo, and they're just like, oops, our bad. Like, lids sometimes will just be like, keep it, we'll send you another one. Who gives a shit? It's fucking cheap ass hat. But like, some places are like, oh, well, now you have to send it. Like, this whole fucking fiasco. Like, you guys sent the wrong size superhero stuff. Like, not to say I want to keep it, because I'm not a Pistons fan, nor do I need it. But like, that should have been right the first time. It doesn't. But mistakes happen. That's fine. But like, that stuff with the web store shit, that shit drives me nuts, because it's like, no one bothered to go and get the hat and photo it. Like, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world, but like, you should be able to do that within a reasonable amount of time to get it posted on the web store so that it looks correct. Like, if I bought a hat and it came with a different logo on it, I'd be fucking pissed. Just from like that's an ethics thing to me, where it's like, I may not care, I may end up keeping it, but I'll be pissed about it, just because you should post what the finalized version of is, like, not some. And I think that's one of the things that superhero stuff, not to like keep bagging on them, because they're a good store for most part. But like, I think they learned from just like, don't talk about shit until it's fucking ready. Don't talk about it until like it's, and like, that might come back to my advice segment from earlier too, where it's like, people want information, but then like, if the information ends up being faulty, if something goes wrong or whatever, people, they have to be held accountable for that. Whereas like, I don't feel like we live in like, in general, like, people can't get away with saying like, well, we're working on this and it may come out, it may not. Like, people just automatically say something and then it's like, oh, well, he said that, so it must be true. Like, that has to happen on this date at this time, and vast majority of shit doesn't end up going out right. But yeah, that would be one for sure. That's a good one that I would say, like, ethically, I think is bullshit. You post even if it takes you an extra half a day or 2 days, you gotta post good photos. And I think Hat Club does a great job of that. I think them getting the, like, taking legit photos outside, in natural lighting, stuff like that. I'm not saying every photo on their site is, but they do a good job of like taking hats in like a regular environment, so you can be like, oh, it looks like this, and it doesn't look like store bought, like just shrink wrapped and packaged, and you can't tell shit from some of those photos. Marin says that the Houston Astros Tequila Sunrise hats were all mixed up, if she remembers correctly. I don't know too much about that, to be honest with you. Are you saying that, like, oh, the Big Bun ones? Yeah, they, the Bun B, not Big Bun, but the Big Bun, Bun B, yes, UGK for life. Yeah, so that was something that they did. Yeah, they, when Bun B put out the Houston Astros caps, they incorrectly stocked a bunch of them under different SKUs. So people were getting caps and were like, I didn't order this. Yeah, it just, no problem, man. That's, I just took me a minute especially when you said Big Bun. I was like, I don't know what Big Bun is. But yeah, yeah, so when those came out, they put them on the website. And here's another problem with that. Some of the photos had like outlines in gold. Like, I remember one of the logos had like an outline in gold around the Stros. and another one like when they got it, it didn't have that, or vice versa, and stuff like that. Like that's especially when the vast majority of your job is just making sure your shots are right and making sure things match. I don't think that's too much to ask. But yeah, that was another thing. It showed race stitching, and there wasn't. It was all flat stitched. Shout out to Leon. Leon definitely noticed that as our resident stitch machine guy. Marin, were there side patches and they didn't come with them? I didn't hear about that part of it. That's fucked up too. The hat, in a lot of these cases, they sell hats and it's like, oh, they slap a fucking side patch on. I've gotten pissed as far as just the glued on side patches, and I'm not going to get into the glued versus stitched argument, but like that stuff bothers the fuck out of me. The glued patched stuff, like I especially like the Chromaflex. Like I have one Chromaflex cap, and all I can think about is like when I get like I'm gonna wear it 5 times, and maybe the next 7-8 years. I bet you in 10 years the fucking things the patch is like unglued. Kentucky God says Lids tries to get you to put embroider at everything that you fucking buy there. That is very true. It's because the markup on that is like 95%. Like everything that like they kill on making embroidery. It's just string and the machine, and they have fuck tons of those machines. They just throw them in like every lids everywhere. But yeah, the embroidery it's like all bonus. Yeah, Leon said it right here. Bonus money. I know that like they have quotas they have to make, and if they may sell so many that like they can get like extra bonus accounts. Like I don't remember, but yeah, I know that when I was buying tons of caps for the Team Fitted people, where I would go and I'd buy like 10, 15 caps. The manager would always give me shit because he'd be like, I save you all these caps when you come in so that you can buy them for all your friends and stuff. Like, you think you could do me a solid and buy a cap and get some embroidery on it? And I'd always be like, dude, I don't embroider shit on anything. Like, it's just not how, like, I still don't. Like, I just, whatever way it comes, that's the cap. Like, to me, I don't fuck with it. Like, I know some people, they can't wait to do something new with theirs. And I think if you're a consumer and you're buying a cap and your whole point is to like have it for this wedding or have it for, this baby shower, totally cool. But yeah, they definitely want to like always push that embroidery. Yeah, the dude, when I would go in there, I would go and buy like size runs of like the Deadpool cap or the Alice in Wonderland cap. There was a couple of them, a couple of the releases around that time where I would, he would hit me up and he'd be like, I got this cap in, and he would send me a picture, and I'd be like, pull me a 5/8 because that's what my size would be, and I'd be like, and I'll call you back in a half hour. I'll tell you how many I need pulled or whatever. And I'd go into Team Fitted and I'd make a post and I'd say, hey, look, I got this cap. Let me know what sizes you want. I can see what I can get. People would hit me up. I'd go and I'd get them, and it wouldn't be a problem. But then like he started pushing that whole like, I'm going to need you to like do me a favor. And I'm just like, dude, I'm buying $300 worth of caps at a time. Like, easy. I remember one time I think for the Deadpools, they were $50 a cap. And I think I got like 12 caps or something like that. 13 of them, some ridiculous number. And he was like, well, I saved these for you. And I'm just like, man, yeah. And but the store ended up closing. They're not there anymore. So I guess, wherever he's at, deuces. But whatever. I just, it is what it is. I wasn't going to I wasn't gonna placate this whole like I'm gonna start getting shit stitched just to buy stuff. Like you're selling them to me for cost, then maybe we can talk. But I mean, I'm getting my discount, which the Lids discount, which at the time I think was 20%, 25%. I'm not making anything on them. And like when I buy them for people, it wasn't. I mean, people can attest to this. I'm pretty much sending you guys an invoice after the fact, like saying here, this is what your total was with the box, with shipping here. This is what you owe me. I'm not making anything on them. Like I'm not making even enough to where like it's worth my time. That's why I don't do it too often, just because it ends up becoming like a full-time job that I make no money from. So if you get shit shipped, always tip. Do your guy a solid. Pay in friends and family if you're your friend, that type of shit. But yeah, so this was just kind of the show for tonight. I kind of wanted to kick it around. But yeah, this is Team Fitted TV. We're into Thursday here now, East Coast for sure. But thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation or maybe learned something. We got Halloween coming up. So if you guys are into a Halloween episode, let me know. I'll try to like pull out some different Halloween stuff that I got. I think I have already done that on YouTube. Yeah, Marin, the inventory tip on Lids is a great tip. That's an old school tip. It'll work, on any store that does live inventory. And what I mean, like I said, live inventory is just, their inventory is up to date to the second pretty much on their web store. You can always just type in like just an outrageous number and it'll kick it back to you and say, oh, you got 3 caps in this size. Do you want it? Like, to me, that always helps me too, because like sometimes, especially like on big face caps, like the Cyborg one right now, I'm waiting for it to drop because I want it, but I don't want it. Like I'm not willing to pay $40-$50 for it, but I might pay $20 for it, $25 for it. So I'm just kind of like keeping an eye on my sizes, and like I'll grab one if it gets down low enough to where I don't think it'll go any farther. I'll bite the bullet, but until then, I'll be cheap about it. That's a good tip, though. I'm glad that so many people. I didn't know that was so like unknown, but I'm glad that you guys are my fam. So, all 10 of you or 50 of you who end up watching this can actually gain something awesome. Thanks for coming and playing with me though today. It's been fun. I always like the Wednesday night play dates as far as sitting here talking caps and talking sneakers and all that good shit. But yeah, have a good fucking week. Be safe. But yeah, I am the worst collector ever, Joel Amatia. This is Worst Collection Wednesdays. I'm the only network that can handle such terrible, terrible programming. Team Fitted TV, where the caps are. Thank you guys for tuning in. Dank One, yes, I hope I get some quality box soon too. That's a total inside joke from one of our previous shows. If you haven't watched the show with Sky, you might get that reference. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, don't get caught. This is Joe Amatia. Till next time, guys, have a good night.